So what is Morpheus microneedling radiofrequency? I'm going to kind of jump past some of the foundational stuff because I feel like Morpheus is so well known. If you are new to the game and you don't have a Morpheus and I'm not servicing you well for what you need, just please raise a hand. But a lot of people in here already have it. They don't need to know what it is because they already do. So the Morpheus is a microneedling device that uses the same radio frequency that we've been talking about all morning, specifically for texture and tightening, texture and tightening, texture and tightening. And the way it's different than anything else that we've talked about so far, because you're like, haven't we been talking about texture and tightening all morning? It's just the application of the same energy that we've already been talking about. It's just a more aggressive application. We're actually now sticking needles into your skin, which means I'm depositing that radio frequency right into your dermis, not through your epidermis to get to your dermis. And what that means is it's a more aggressive treatment. But when we do a more aggressive treatment, we're going to get a larger effective change. My results are going to be more per session just because it's more aggressive, and that makes sense. So now we're kind of upping the dial in terms of level of aggressiveness. Now we have all kinds of opportunities with our Morpheus that you as the practitioner get to decide, and this is where it breaks down for a lot. A lot of confusion going on in the market. A lot of times it's because I've heard this, or my trainer said this, or there's a lot of people saying a lot of things, so I'm going to clean up a lot of the narrative for you today. Like, for example, you've probably been told, even by InMode people, I need to wait 6 weeks after doing fillers to treat with Morpheus. We already put that one to bed, right? I don't know where that gets started. No one's shown me any science or literature to suggest that we need to do that. Some people say 6 months, right? So what's the difference? So there's a lot of false narratives that we'll try to clean up today. It's a good time to do it. So microneedle radio frequency to affect change in the skin. We have multiple different hand pieces, so rather than reading you this, I'm just going to work through them, and at the end of this short segment, there will be a table that you want to have your phones prepared to take a picture of because it summarizes everything I'm about to go over. That table does, because it's a little messy when I'm going through it. So on the Morpheus, there's 2 hand pieces, the blue one and the black one. And between these 2 hand pieces, we have 4 opportunities. It's all the same stuff, just positioned a little different for the intended area. That's it. Same stuff. It's all radio frequency, all applied for with needles. And it's just made for slightly different applications depending on the patient's anatomy and or the treatment area will determine which one of the hand pieces you pick. So try not to make it any more complicated than it needs to be. It's purely for efficiency's sake. This is where we lose people. Lots of hand pieces, lots of treatment depths. We can selectively treat anywhere from 0.5 millimeter to 7 millimeters. So contextually speaking, listen up if I've lost you, notice right after lunch, because this is very important and not a lot of people know this, and this will unlock a lot of things for you guys in your head. How deep is my dermis? Where's my dermis at in relation to skin in terms of a level? How deep is my dermis? And it depends on the area, and it depends on male, female. Of course, males tend to be thicker skinned than females, but by and large, how deep is your dermis? And if you don't know this, principles like this are going to change your world, simply understanding this simple thing. Anybody know? No one wants to talk to me anymore, too scared to give the wrong answer. Anywhere from 1 to 2 millimeters. 1 to 2 millimeters is your dermis, dermal depth.